You've been planking wrong. Every second you're pushing against the clock, staring at the floor, shaking and sagging in the middle, you are actively wasting your time. And I know that sounds brutal, because we've been told forever that if you can hold a plank for 2 minutes, you're doing great. But what if the way most people plank is completely backwards? Here's something that'll stop you mid-scroll. Elite gymnasts who perform on rings and high bars, special operations soldiers who carry 80-pound rocks across mountains, world-class sprinters who explode off the blocks with perfect mechanical efficiency. They all have something in common, and it has nothing to do with how many crunches they do. They've mastered something about core training that most people grinding through ab circuits at the gym have completely forgotten. It's a principle so foundational that when physical therapists rebuild athletes after serious spinal injuries, this is where they start. When Olympic coaches want to unlock power transfer across the entire body, this is the secret they teach first. I'm talking about isometric plank holds, specific, targeted, brutally effective positions that build real core strength from the inside out. 5 holds, 15 minutes, 3 times a week. That's all it takes to completely rewire your stability, fix your posture, and build a foundation of strength that makes everything else you do in the gym feel effortless. No machines, no weights, no excuses. By the end of this video, you're going to understand why learning to stay perfectly still could be the most powerful training decision you've ever made. Let me ask you something. You know that feeling when you're 30 seconds into a plank and it honestly feels kind of easy? Well, you're just lying there, waiting, maybe checking the clock. That feeling right there, that is the problem. The standard plank lets you coast, and coasting builds nothing. The RKC Plank was developed by Soviet Special Forces trainer Pavel Tsatsouline, and while the name comes from the Russian kettlebell challenge, there's not a kettlebell in sight. What there is full-body tension that turns a passive hold into something that will have you shaking in 10 seconds flat. Here's how you do it. Get into your standard forearm plank. Elbows under shoulders, body in a straight line. Now, here's where everything changes. Drive your elbows forward into the ground like you're trying to drag them toward your toes. At the same time, drive your toes backward like you're trying to drag them toward your elbows. You're not actually moving, but the tension you're creating between those two opposing forces, that's what ignites everything. The RKC Plank is designed to work the underlying core muscles under increased loading rather than under prolonged hold. This increased loading activates the smaller stabilizer muscles throughout the entire core, making it significantly more effective than the standard plank. Squeeze your glutes hard. Pull your abs up and in like you're trying to touch your belly button to your spine. Lock your quads, your shoulders, your lats. Your entire body should feel like it's vibrating with controlled tension. Here's the reality check. 30 seconds of a proper RKC plank will destroy you more thoroughly than 3 minutes of a lazy standard plank. That's not an exaggeration, that's physics. More tension equals more muscle fiber recruitment equals more strength. Start with 20 seconds. It will feel like an eternity. Work up to 30, then 45 over several weeks. 3 sets, full rest in between. Do this consistently, and you'll understand why elite coaches call the standard plank a warm-up. Now, what do gymnastics coaches consider the absolute gold standard of core engagement? Not crunches, not sit-ups, not leg raises. The hollow body hold. And there's a very specific reason why. In gymnastics, the hollow position is often referred to as the gold standard for core engagement. A strong hollow body position ensures proper force transfer between the upper and lower body, allowing athletes to perform complex skills with precision. The hollow body position activates the deep core musculature at levels approximately 40% higher than traditional crunches, providing superior core stability. And here's the thing nobody tells you. This is the foundation underneath every major movement you'll ever do. Pull-ups, handstands, heavy deadlifts, they all require your body to transmit force efficiently through the midline. If that midline is soft, you're leaking power on every single rep. Here's how you do it. Lie flat on your back, press your lower back completely into the floor, no gap, no arch, nothing. Now, simultaneously lift your shoulders and your legs a few inches off the ground. Arms extend overhead, legs stay straight and squeeze together. You should look like a shallow banana. Everything is lifting, everything is tense, and that lower back must stay glued to the floor. The moment it peels up, the position is gone. The hollow hold targets your entire core, from top to bottom and side to side, and will also help in other movements like pull-ups because it trains stability throughout the whole body. Can't hold the full position? Bend your knees slightly, or keep your arms at your sides instead of overhead. Find the version where you can maintain that lower back contact with the floor. That is your starting point. 20 seconds of a perfect hollow hold, rest, 3 sets, work toward 30, then 45 seconds, and then watch what happens when you go back to the gym and grip a pull-up bar. You'll feel like a completely different athlete. So, when's the last time you actually trained the sides of your core? Not your front, not your back, the lateral line. The muscles responsible for preventing your spine from collapsing sideways under load. Most people never do, and it's one of the most expensive gaps in the human body. The side plank targets the obliques and hip stabilizers, improving lateral stability and core symmetry. It's an effective way to strengthen muscles that support rotation and posture. Every time you carry groceries in one hand, throw a punch, swing a bat, or cut hard while running, your obliques and lateral stabilizers are the only things preventing your spine from buckling under load. If they're weak, everything you do is inefficient and injury is just a matter of time. Here's how to actually do this right. Lie on your side, elbow directly under your shoulder, not forward, not back, directly under. Stack your feet. Now lift your hips off the ground until your body forms one perfectly straight line from your head to your heels. Here's the mistake everyone makes. They let their hips sag forward or rotate back. Your hips need to be stacked directly on top of each other. Square, no rotation, and your top hand, it goes on your hip or straight toward the ceiling, not planted on the floor as a kickstand. Drive your elbow into the ground. Squeeze your glutes, pull your ribs down toward your hip. If your obliques aren't screaming by 30 seconds, you are cheating. Start with 20 seconds per side. Work up to 45, then 60. 3 sets each side. Advance it by raising your top leg or by dipping your hips slowly toward the ground and pressing back up. Build this consistently and you'll notice something remarkable. Heavy carries feel easier. Your squat stops collapsing. Your spine feels armored. Here's something most people don't know. The inner thigh muscles, your adductors, are one of the most chronically undertrained muscle groups in the body, and they are absolutely critical for hip stability, injury prevention, and athletic performance. The Copenhagen Plank is a side plank variation that specifically targets the muscles of the inner thigh and groin. The adductors, which are primarily responsible for adducting the hip or moving the leg toward the midline. Research comparing 8 different adductor exercises found the Copenhagen adduction exercise elicited the highest activation of the adductor longus, the primary inner thigh muscle. That's not a small finding. You are getting more inner thigh activation from this one isometric hold than from almost any other exercise in existence. Here's how to do it. You'll need a bench or a sturdy chair. Get into a side plank position alongside it. Place your top leg on the bench, your calf or ankle resting on the surface. Your bottom arm is your base. Now, press through that top leg and your forearm simultaneously and lift your hips until your body forms a straight line. Your bottom leg hangs freely in the air underneath the bench. That free-hanging bottom leg is where this exercise gets brutal. Your adductors are working overtime to keep your hips level and your body aligned. Everything on the inside of your legs, your groin, your inner thigh, your hip flexors, they are all contracting simultaneously. Can't get the bottom leg off the floor yet? Leave it touching. That's your regression. When it becomes manageable, lift it. That's your progression. 3 to 4 sets of 10 to 30 second holds per side. Build toward 30 seconds with the bottom leg fully elevated and your hips perfectly level. Do this consistently and you're building the hip stability that protects knees, prevents groin strains, and makes every athletic movement you perform more powerful and more efficient. Now for the final boss, and I want you to understand exactly why this one matters. Everything you've built with the first 4 holds, your anterior tension, your lateral stability, your hip integration, your deep core, it all comes together right here in one unforgiving position. Hollow holds don't just target the abs, they strengthen the entire core, improve posture, enhance athletic performance, and protect your spine. But the extended version with arms reaching long overhead takes everything up several levels, because now you've added a lever, the weight of your arms pulling your lower back away from the floor, and your entire core has to fight against it. Here's how to do it. Everything from the standard hollow body hold, but now your arms are reaching as far overhead as possible. Fingertips pointed, arms squeezing against your ears, legs long and low, no higher than 45 degrees. The proper extended hollow hold requires lying flat on your back, drawing your belly button toward your spine, and lifting your legs, shoulders, and arms off the ground while keeping your back pressed against the floor throughout the entire hold. The lower your legs, the harder this is. The longer your arms reach, the harder this is. And here's what you need to understand. If your lower back peels off the floor even slightly, you are not doing a hollow hold. You're doing a back extension. Stop, reset, bring your legs higher, or bend your knees. Find the version where you can hold perfect contact between your lower back and the floor for the full duration. Hollow holds are foundational for advanced movements such as muscle-ups, levers, and planches. The ability to hold a hollow position demonstrates superior core strength and control necessary for these challenging skills. Start with 15 seconds. It will humble you. Work up to 30, then 45 seconds over weeks. 3 to 4 sets, full rest in between. When you get to 60 seconds with arms fully extended and legs low and straight, you have built a core that almost nobody in a conventional gym can match. Here's your routine below. The RKC Plank, 3 sets of 20 to 45 seconds. Side Plank, 3 sets of 20 to 45 seconds per side. Hollow body hold, 3 sets of 20 to 45 seconds. Copenhagen Plank, 3 sets of 10 to 30 seconds per side. Extended hollow hold, 3 sets of 15 to 45 seconds. 3 times per week, that's it. 15 to 20 minutes per session. Research has found that plank variations can significantly improve abdominal muscle strength and balance in as little as 8 weeks. 2 weeks in, your posture changes. 4 weeks in, your lifts feel more locked in. 8 weeks in, you walk into any gym and your body moves differently. Because isometric plank training teaches you something that endless reps on machines never can. How to create force from absolute stillness. How to hold tension when everything in your body wants to quit. How to build a core that doesn't just look strong, but is strong in every direction under any load. 5 holds, 1 complete core, 0 excuses.